When you eat outside sugar or carbohydrates, that raises your blood sugar, and that's toxic to the body. So your body responds to it as a toxicity. So it's a very good illustration of what can go wrong in our body and our health when we don't eat what we're designed to eat. There are toxins in plants that are directly toxic or indirectly harmful in that they can things, anti-nutrients, phytic acid, oxalates, tannins. These will bind to different nutrients or proteins to not allow you to absorb them. They can get in your bloodstream and actually strip out these nutrients out of your bloodstream. Or things that block your body from being able to break them down, like protease inhibitors that block protease, which is an enzyme coming from our pancreas that helps break down large proteins into amino acids so we can absorb them. And those things are just directly toxic. Like North American water hemlock will block the GABA receptors in the brain, so the brain cannot calm down the excitatory signals, and people just go into intractable seizures, and they die within minutes because you cannot stop the seizures, and they're very severe. And so there are things that are directly harmful, directly toxic, indirectly harmful in a number of ways. But there are others that aren't necessarily designed to be, and the things that disrupt your hormones as well. So these things are designed by the plants to try and deter animals from eating them. It's a direct defense. Even latex, we use latex gloves in medicine all the time. But that was a defense mechanism from plants. It's actually a very sticky sap that when animals start eating those plants, they start releasing latex and actually glues their mouth shut and stops them from being able to eat the plant. It's a pretty elegant way to stop something from eating you.
Amazing.
If you just glue its mouth shut, which I think is pretty clever. The problem is for the animal, it usually kills them because they can't get their mouth unstuck. They can't get their teeth unstuck. So the plant has no problem with you dying if it gets to live, just like a bison or a buffalo in the wild doesn't want to eat you, but if it feels you're a threat, it will happily kill you in order to preserve itself or its children's health. So there are direct defenses that plants have, but there are other things that can also cause harm, which are not necessarily meant as a defense, like glucose. We're not meant to eat glucose. We're meant to make glucose. We're meant to eat protein and fat, and we're meant to make glucose and blood sugar, glycogen, ketones, and things like that. When you eat outside sugar or carbohydrates, that raises your blood sugar above that 4 grams that we talked about. And that's toxic to the body. So your body responds to it as a toxicity by trying to detoxify it. Otherwise, you get people with diabetes and you creep up to 4.5, 5 grams of blood or of blood glucose. And this is what starts killing people. Those glucose molecules are physically fusing to other molecules. They permanently damage them. They cause AGEs, advanced glycation end products. And these are very damaging to your body. People end up getting amputations. Their kidney function drops off, and they eventually die from the complications of diabetes. But that's not a direct defense mechanism from the plant. But what it is it's a very good illustration of what can go wrong in our body and our health when we don't eat what we're designed to eat. And as you say, this is really important in the aspects of cancer, because what Professor Seyfried has shown, building on the work of Dr. Otto Warburg, for whom the Warburg effect is named, he's a Nobel Prize winner in physiology and medicine. They have shown that cancer is really not a genetic disorder. It's a metabolic mitochondrial disorder. So you get dysfunction, damaged mitochondria. The cell can't make energy properly with the mitochondria. So it goes back to its former, older form before cells had mitochondria in them. They had to make energy a different way by substrate level fermentation.